Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we will see the module number 3, that is flexible payment, maintenance, failures and maintenance. So we know that the payments are classified in two ways. One is a flexible payment and one more is a rigid payment. So flexible payment is nothing but whatever the bitumen surface we find, we call it as a flexible payment, which are in layered as a first layer is subgrade, then subbase, base, then after that a varying course, or we call it as surface course. In case of the rigid payment, we have the subgrade as usual, then we have the GSB layer as a drainage layer, or above that we have the DLC, and top of that is going to be PQS, that is payment quality concrete. So in flexible payment, we see, as we know the differences in flexible payment, what we have, as the stress comes at the top, it's going to be distributed to the until the bottom in a truncated way. And here the how the transfer of the load is going to happen, or stress is going to happen from grain to grain. Okay, here one layer failure is obviously reflected in other layers too. If a subgrade fails, obviously the total subgrade is reflected in the all the top of its layers. Okay, so today you see the, let's start with the introduction now. So why the road maintenance is very important? What happen if the road maintenance is not performed? Okay, what are the different types of the failure you can observe? This is what you're going to deal with this PPT. First is road maintenance is the one of the most important of the road system, component of the road system. Second is it involves the assessment of the road condition. Okay, what's the road condition right now? Diagnosis of the problem, and later adopting the most appropriate maintenance steps. The third is, even if the highway are well designed, they may require the maintenance due to its less design life. And then lastly, the various types of failure occurs in the payment, which ranges from minor to the major distresses. Okay, let us see that next. So in next slide, it's about how the payment failure occurs. And then the first one is poor soil. So it is most common problem we can face in a payment design. Second is inferior material quality. If the material laid in the ground is not that good enough, obviously it will leads to the several defects and failures. Third is improper geometrics. Due to the improper geometry of the road, lot of factors may arise which keeps the payment deformations. And the fourth is overloading of the vehicles. A vehicle is said to be heavy loaded when it is to be loaded more than actually carrying capacity. And the fifth is environmental factor. It includes like rainfall, soil erosions, high water table. That will what, obviously it will soft ones, or whatever the load bearing capacity of subgrade decreases. If the heavy load comes on that, obviously distress will be more prominently visible in that conditions. And last one is, and very important, inadequate drainage. If you not provide proper drainage systems, obviously the water all time run into the different payment layers, or it starts stagnating on the payment surface also. That would happen, that due to the improper design, that stagnance of the water and subgrade, which could be the main reason of payment failure. The water starts penetrating into the different layer, and that will leads into the potholes and other kind of the distresses or a failure. So these are the different payment failures. The first is surface deformation, in that corrugation, rutting, shoving, settlement and uphill. And the second is cracking, that is fatigue cracking, transverse cracking, longitudinal cracking, edge cracking. Third is disintegration, we find in potholes and patches. And lastly, the surface defects, that is raveling and bleeding. Now we'll start seeing one by one. So first is, what do we see in the surface deformation? You find the cracking here. Alligator cracks, how they look. So alligator cracks known as a map cracking, or crocodile cracking or fatigue failure, since it appears similar to the alligator skin. So, it is called as alligator cracking. Okay. And the failure can be due to the weakness in the surface, or it might be base or subgrade. A failure of base that is too thin, poor drainage, or combination of all three. And the main reason of this type of failure is repetitive application of heavy movement of traffic. This is how we would be called alligator cracking. You can see in the pictures. And this is the block cracking. Okay. Block cracks looks like a large interconnected rectangles, roughly, not exactly the rectangular. Generally, it is caused by the shrinkage of the asphalt pavement due to an inability of the asphalt binder to expand and contract with temperature cycles. This can cause because the mixer was not mixed and placed too dry. The size of each rectangular may vary from 1 foot by 1 foot to the 10 foot by the 10 foot, and it all obviously spreads over a larger area of the ground. These are the block cracking. Next is the longitudinal cracking. These are the longitudinal cracking. Okay, throughout the length of the road, you find the cracks. So longitudinal cracks are individual and run parallel to the center line. So here you can see that the distress can be considered as either structural or anomalous distresses, any of one those. And the third one is it can be result of both pavement fatigue, reflective cracking, and a poor joint construction. If you have poor joint construction, in the sense I already laid one layer now. Okay, this is the construction started now. Next, beside that, one more layer I am going to add now. These two, what happen? They not mingle with each other, or they not been attached to each other improperly. May they not make it as a one pavement. That is what we call as a poor joint construction. Next, transverse crack. You can see that is the longitudinal one. Okay, and this is the transverse, that is perpendicular to the longitudinal. Or a single crack perpendicular to the pavement center line or the lay down direction. Transverse can caused by the reflective cracks from the underlaying layer, daily temperature cycles, and poor construction due to improper, that is the leads water, a transverse cracking. Next is the patch. A patch is an area of the portion of the pavement. Here you can see the first. These are we called as the patches. The patch is an area of a portion of a pavement greater than what 0.1 square meter, then has been removed or replaced with a new material to repair the existing pavement. A patch is considered a defect no matter how well it is performing. Clear? These defects can be improved by taking the measurements in feet square or meter square and filling it with a fresh layer of the bitumen. These are the I will cut it open. I will fill this with the patches. Patch repair. This is, see, you can find the patch. How much area has to cut open, then you're going to fill this. Whatever the potholes you can find, filling with the patches. Next comes the potholes. These are the small bowl shaped depression in the pavement surface that penetrate all the way through the asphalt layer down to the base course. Okay, until the base course, the depth will be goes below. In the western United States, these are known as a chuck hole, and the pothole can be expanded to several feet in width, and later it can spread, leads to the formation of the patches. They do not develop too much in a deep. The vehicle tires were damaged due to the large potholes. So here, in the cold temperatures, the water trapped in the potholes will carry out the freezing and thawing actions that we call as a forced action that leads to additional stresses and crack propagations. Potholes also repaired by the patchworks. Here are the potholes. Next, edge cracking and the shoulder drop off. So, here the edge cracks travel along the inside edge of the pavement surface within 1 or 2 feet. The most common, here you can see that these are the edge cracks. This kind of the most often you can find in Indian road scenarios also. The most common cause for this type of the crack is poor drainage conditions and lack of support at the pavement edge. No confinement available here. Okay. As a result, underlying base materials settle and they become weakened. Like heavy vegetation along the pavement edges and the heavy traffic can also be the instigator of the shoulder drop off. It can be improved by rooting out existing vegetation and by fixing the drainage problem. It can be removed by filling the cracks or seals the cracks to prevent the further deterioration too. Next is this is the what we call slippage crack. Okay, slippage crack are the what crescent shaped or a horseshoe shaped cracks or a tears in the surface layer. It is asphalt where the new material has been slipped over the underlying course. Like when you go for the surface maintenance, that time you added the new surface layer there. In those conditions, what happen? That whatever the top layer is going to slip. It caused by lack of bonding between the layers. Next, acceleration, deacceleration, sudden breaks on the road are lead the slippage cracks. Mostly, these cracks show on the intersection due to the stopping, where the more often you apply the brake at the intersection. So, for that reason, you find the more kind of this cracks in a intersection. Next is weathering and raveling. It is adhesion between the asphalt cement and the aggregate. Deformation starts with the breaking up of the fine aggregate in small pieces and leaves small patches over the pavement. You can find here. These are the small patches which is left on a pavement surfaces. So, later the large aggregates breaks and leaves the rough surfaces. Next is rutting. This is the rutting where you can find the you can see the what tire mark. This is what you call rutting. The depression formed in the surface is called the rutting. This is formed in the wheel path surface along the way of the road. This depression will make the other side of the wheel to undergo uplift. It is caused by what is the cause? Insufficient pavement thickness sometimes, or lack of compaction of the asphalt stone base, or weak asphalt mixes, or moisture infiltrations, and even sometimes even due to the heavy load of the vehicles too. If the rutting is minor, it has to be stabilized. The depression can be filled and overlaid. If the deformations are severe, then what the rutted area should be removed and replaced with a suitable material. So, this is all about the rutting. You can see that how much the depression you can find on the pavement surfaces. This is too much. Next is corrugation. Okay, you can find these are the corrugation. Transverse undulation appear at regular intervals due to the unstable surface course caused by stop and go traffic. Here, the only difference between the rutting and corrugation is that what? The direction of distress undulation. In rutting, the distortion takes place along the direction of the road only, okay? Only at the direction of the road. And in the corrugation, distress appears in this fashion, see. Stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Next is bleeding. Here, what are the patches you can find? We can call this as the bleeding. Excessive bitumen binder occurring on a pavement surface causing bleeding. Beading causes a shiny glass like reflect you can find here surface that make it tacky to the touchy and usually found in a wheel path only. Next is a forced and heaving or swelling. Upheaving is localized upward movement or the formation of the upward bulge in a pavement due to the swelling of the subgrade. You can see the bulge here at this point. Here you can find the bulge, right? So this is nothing but the reason for the forced heaving or the swelling. This can be due to the expansion of soil that swelled due to the moisture or the forced heavy. Clear? Mostly you find it in the colder regions. Next is see the maintenance. How to maintain this? Bituminous surface treatment, also known as a seal coat or a chip seal, is a thin protective wearing surface that is applied to the pavement or the pavement surface. It is provided to protect the underlying pavement, improve skid resistance, etc. Because it has to be improve the skid resistance. Otherwise, what happen? All the vehicles start slipping through. Next, asphalt overlaying. This can be done when the pavement surface is too much worn out. Asphalt over is a paving method of applying to the new layer of asphalt to the deteriorating surface. An asphalt overlaying project will be use the existing layer as a base for the new asphalt. Some asphalt surface which serves damage like rutting, potholes, large crack you can see. Expansion will be needed to mill it before and over is applied. Clear? Next is slurry seals or crack seals. Slurry seals is a homogeneous mixture of emulsified asphalt, water, well graded, fine aggregate, and mineral filler that it has creamy fluid like appearance when appeared. Clear? Slurry seals are used to fill the existing pavement surface defects as either a preparatory treatment for the other maintenance treatment or wearing course. Clear? Here you can find that the slurries how they are applying at the pavement surfaces. Now the rigid pavement failure and we can see in the next class. Until here it is all about the flexible pavement. Thank you for your patience, Siri.